Yo, what is up, y'all? My name is Rob Donaldson, and welcome back to another edition of Rob's Best Bets. And we are once again talking about college basketball conference futures. And in this episode, we are focusing on the Summit League. And obviously, as I've said in all of these videos, as you can see by the record, from the start of March to the end of the season in college basketball, we just make this time of year really our profit-raking season. It's a great cherry on top. We do well every single year leveraging these futures, picking straight bets throughout the conference tournament season, as well as through the, actual NCAA tournament, NIT, all the postseason tournaments we do really well in. And when we're focusing on the Summit League here, over the years, it's been South Dakota State and then just kind of some scattered teams in the mix, kind of randomly. And North Dakota State's been in that mix over the years. And then obviously we also had the Oral Roberts run with Paul Mills and Max Asmus. That was pretty fun as well. But outside of that, really nobody else has kind of emerged from this conference. And that's what makes it really fun this year, because I think there are 5 viable teams when you're looking at this 9-team tournament bracket. So let's go ahead and start at the top with Omaha. I think they're very viable in this tournament. Then you look at St. Thomas, then you look at South Dakota State, then North Dakota State, and then South Dakota. And that's going to be my cut line with South Dakota. And let's go ahead and start with our longest shot on the board here, and that is going to be the South Dakota Coyotes. And when you look at Eric Peterson's squad this season, they came into the year with a lot of ambition and a lot of hope because they had a lot of veterans. They had a lot of continuity, which is really hard to do, obviously, in the NIL era. And when you're also looking at South Dakota as just a job in general, you're up against it from recruiting standpoints because you're not really in a talent-filled region, and the talent that is up there in the Dakotas and just kind of the Big Sky area, you're competing with the likes of a South Dakota State or a North Dakota State, which are more established programs. But here in year 3, they're an 18-game winner. You can't overstate, how much of a turnaround that actually is, because South Dakota, is just not one of those jobs that's easy to win at. And, the unfortunate thing in mid-January is their big man, their 7-footer, Cameron Fens, who can really stretch the floor. He can defend down low. He can post you up. He ended up going out with an injury, and that kind of hurt their back end of the season. But this is still a very talented core with what I think is honestly one of the better draws, because when you look at Omaha at the top, I think they're the most susceptible 1 seed maybe in all of the conference tournaments, truly. And that's no shot at Omaha. I think they are having a great season and a good team, but I want to have some future stake on the top end of this bracket. I just think they're very beatable. I could even see them losing to a team like a Kansas City in their first game if they're not careful. And for that reason, let's go ahead and place 1 unit on the South Dakota Coyotes to win the Summit League tournament. And the odds are sitting at 32-1. And again, we're not placing this to win 1 unit. We're placing 1 unit to potentially win 32 units. This really comes into play when you're talking about leveraging potential payouts on the back end if they do advance past North Dakota State. But with all that being said, let's hop into our second pick here. All right, for pick number 2, we are going to be taking a look at those North Dakota State Bison. And I know we're placing 2 futures on 2 teams that are playing each other in their first game in this tournament. And that's because, again, I want to inherit that seed line potentially from Omaha, because I think they're the most susceptible 1 seed, and we're getting good odds to do so on both of these teams. I do think South Dakota can beat North Dakota State, but what I do know is that North Dakota State can beat anybody in this field as well. And for that reason, I say we go ahead and place a 2-unit future on Dave Richmond's bunch here. Plus 260, found it on DraftKings, and also South Dakota's future I found on FanDuel, by the way. But this one we're going on DraftKings, plus 260, and again, this is to win 5.20 units. And I really like our chances with either North Dakota State or South Dakota coming out of that 4-5 matchup to upset Omaha or potentially, a Kansas City, if you will, if they do end up upsetting Omaha early. But with all that being said, let's hop into pick number 3 here. All right, for pick number 3 here in the Summit League tournament, we're going to be looking at the South Dakota State Jackrabbits, the blue blood in this league. Every single year, they're near the top. Every single year, once the conference tournament hits, they have a chance to win it. And they, yet again, have a great team at their disposal here. And I do think going up against North Dakota in round 1 is a very favorable matchup. And something I know about this tournament as well is this is a South Dakota State South Haven, because this is a game that's going to be played within 1 hour of driving distance from Brookings. The fans always make this trip. It is always alive for South Dakota State. And on that bottom side of the bracket, I am worried a little bit about St. Thomas potentially in round 2, and I do think they're going to mollywop Denver in that matchup there. But I think that South Dakota State, if you can get them as a 3-1 paying dog in this tournament, you will 100% take it. And with that being said, I say we do it for 2 units. Place this over on DraftKings as well. And again, when you're getting this good of a price on a team that is probably the most well-coached in the conference and has some of the most talent in the conference, I think it's an absolute no-brainer. But with all that being said, y'all, I appreciate you guys checking out this video. If you do want more of these conference tournament futures, keep hitting that like button, because, again, I say it every video, but these are very, very niche in terms of the betting market. They're going to attract a lot less viewership than, my everyday upload video picks that just kind of give out our straight bets. And I totally understand that, but you guys have been doing awesome. Keep leaving comments, keep sharing on social media, keep engaging with everything that I put out with these videos, and I will continue to put out videos for you. Also, just as a heads up, no futures in the Patriot League this season, because Bucknell has been my team since day one. They are very heavily favored in that conference tournament, and I just don't like a lot of the value with a lot of the long shots in that conference tournament either. So completely staying off the Patriot League. I think it's going to be a fun tournament, but go Bison, go Bucknell. Hopefully John Griffin can get to the NCAA tournament this year as well. But with all that being said, y'all, as I always say, I will see you in a future video. Take it easy.